Thank you so much for letting me be here today and spend the afternoon with you. I wish I had a class like this when I was at Lawrence High, because I think it's so critically important that you guys engage in these conversations and have an understanding of what other people in our community are all about. I mean, we're actually kind of lucky to live in Lawrence, Kansas, where we are exposed to different cultures, I feel like more so than some other communities in Kansas. But I think it is critically important that we try to have an understanding of where people are coming from in this society. There's so many different ways of life. There's so many different ways to live your life. And it's all good, you know. It's, if it works for them, it works for them. If it doesn't work for you, that's okay. You can live the life you want to live and let them live the life they want to live. But it's important that we all get along. And asked me to be here today to talk with you guys about the Lawrence GiveBack program. What causes us to be passionate about it all probably stems from our life experience. My cause and my passion is actually preserving the businesses here in Lawrence, Kansas, the locally owned businesses in Lawrence, Kansas, and preserving the culture and the character. Do have control of is our community and where we spend our money in our community and the people that we support in our community. And if we're all very cognizant of that, making sure that we think about, you know, when it's time for me to go get that thing that I need, maybe I ought to try to find somebody locally, because that's where we can control our economics. What it really, the impact of buying local could really do. What does it mean economically if we shop at locally businesses versus non-locally owned businesses? What does that mean? They did this study, and this is what they came up with. Basically, for every $100 that's spent at a locally owned business versus a non-locally owned business, at a locally owned business, $57 stayed in the community. 57 out of the 100 stayed in the community. At a non-locally owned business, it was only $32 that actually recirculated into the community. So that's about a 25. That's a pretty big significant. That means that's money that's recirculated back to us, right?
And spread out over more people than consolidated in just kind of the top 1 or 2%.
Exactly. It's not saying never go to those places, just 10%. We would create $19 million in new economic activity, create 225 new jobs, and which would create $7.5 million in new wages. What we need to do in the community is simple. Just shift 10% of our buying habits, and we could recoup some of those jobs. A campaign about buying local. So let's talk about Lawrence GiveBack. So Lawrence GiveBack is basically a buy local. It's a plastic card with like a magnetic stripe. You know, certainly all these businesses have credit card machines. Maybe there would be a really cool way to make just, you know, so when you go to eat at these places, that you had your card swiped at a percentage of your sale that would go to the charity of the cardholder's choice. That would be kind of cool. But let's amp it up even more. Let's give the cardholder an incentive to use it. Let's make it interesting for the cardholder. So it's not only, you know, that yeah, you're helping out your community, but now you get a little something. So now every time you go to these restaurants and you go to Checkers and you swipe your card, you get points for yourself. Huge undertaking. It was much, when I thought, oh, this is going to be easy, I can get this set up, and oh my God, 18 months into it, I'm like, why did I get this thing going? But we did, and it's exciting. So what I can tell you today is that we've raised $28,000 for local charitable organizations in just 5 months. We've run $1.9 million through the program, which has generated about another $500,000 in extra economic benefit because it's all been local businesses. So that's $500,000 that would have left Lawrence, Kansas, had you not spent it in Lawrence. And almost 10,000 cardholders not using it.
Ripples good becomes good all the way around.
You just hand them this card. You pay with your normal way you pay.
Like your money.
You pay with your money. And then in addition, you give them this card, and you'll get 30 points loaded on your card. And then 5% of your sale goes to the charity that you've registered. So when you get this card, you have to go online and register and take it.
You're not paying addition.
Right.
They're taking the 5% out of that $30.
It's actually coming from the local business, and that's what's so important.
Right.
The local business is the one who's paying that bill.
The neediest of the...
Now we have 20 restaurants that are signed on with the program and Checkers grocery store. And what I'm about ready to do right after the Labor Day holiday, my goal is to go out and sign up 20 retailers that are independently owned, and more than that.
Shop like you're going to, go get groceries like you would, like your parents would, and just by going to Checkers, it has better food anywhere. The prices are cheaper already, and the tortillas are really good. You go there anyways, okay? And then all of a sudden, by making that choice, we talked about the first couple of days, right? You make choices all day. What you purchase with your money, what this is what the Better World Handbook is about, is what the choice, that's the vote you're making. So all of a sudden, not only are you supporting local community, which is even better for the environment, because it's local.
On the website, is there like a list of all the
So
schools?
for the charity,
Ask her that.
the charity that you pick at the beginning, can you change that?
So it can kind of be used as a gift card, but it can also be used as like, just like basically somehow to like register so that the charity knows that you are donating to them. So it can be used like both
Yes.
ways.
Initially to get the card.
It's free.
Free.
Oh.
Where would you get them? Like, if you wanted to get other people involved, like, where would you tell them to go and get it?
Well, right, I did bring a bunch of cards. I did bring some cards for everybody here today. And what I thought might be kind of interesting is to maybe give everybody three cards.
Say that
Maybe
again.
give everybody 3 cards and have you give 2 to people that you think would be excited about the program. We're not gonna have fireworks this year. And the Lawrence Originals, the restaurants that are in this group, paid for the fireworks. Did you have us on there?
Yeah.
Did steak pizza on there?
No.
Bambinos?
Like, yeah, it's on here.
So think about the Bambinos.
Silas and Maddie's.
After they walk around and see. We
Indian
would
House
all
and then
cars,
sweet
then
steak
we
pizza.
would
Yeah,
say
steak
they
pizza.
support anyways.
What about Silas and Maddie's? Isn't that along the
I'd love to have
top?
that. That was the
I
other
want
thing.
that. Favorite. I like ice cream.
Do you around here or anything do this program?
Me, and I have no staff. It is me. And I'm,
You also mentioned when we talked on the phone, and this is exciting to me, we're trying to cite people, right, with our in-class hours and even out-of-class hours. You also mentioned you might be willing to have like an intern, 1 or 2 real partners.
yeah, I would love it. And I'm kind of, there's what you might call a social entrepreneur, and that's kind of what I would consider myself as well.
So what I'm excited about, yesterday, autism program, new, we are new. Together, Lawrence GiveBack, new, we are new, together. Well, you can't. All this is spending money like all of us do too much anyways, but to do it locally, which is better for the environment, better for the economy, and now helping the homeless shelter, or Ballard Center, or women's transitional care services.
Who did you contact, like how did you implement it?
I just had to really think it through how I want to feel, and that's the beauty again of working with your local merchants, because they knew me and they trusted me, and they were like, "You've never done us wrong. We don't know about this, but we're gonna go with you because."
Instead of saying, I don't know, we have to talk to corporate.
Exactly.
Let's look at the layers here. Already, if you didn't have a card at all, right? Shopping locally is still extremely positive decision to make, right? Even if you didn't have a card at all. If you didn't shop locally and you donated to charities, that's already a positive decision to make. So why I'm celebrating you and why you're in here and people are getting excited, because you took both of those together, right? And you made it so simple for the consumer, because that's what all of us are, is consumers, but we're going to be so much more in here. We're going to be workers, we're going to be service, we're going to be reflecting, but we're still consumers. So now you've helped us with both of those, right?
That's
Unbelievable.
exactly what I was trying to do. I wanted to put together.
I want that! I want that! And so can we have them?
Absolutely. All right.
Yeah.
That was-
Okay.
The question is anybody up for the challenge? Then I will give you more than one, only if you can look me in the eye and promise me that you will pass it on to somebody. Do you believe what you was like, okay, should I just hand them out?
I think you should pass them out to us right now.
I'm so excited, like eating food.
Are you so excited?